In this video today, I'm going to do something different. I am going to let you listen to me talk to an actual tenant live. I did this yesterday. I was trying to figure out when she called and she said, my voucher's for $1,200. She's got Section 8. Could she rent my house that I have listed for $1,200? So the reason that I'm making this video was inspired by a past video that I made. If you want to see it, it's here. And in this past video, I explained that when people call and they say, I've got a voucher for $1,200, it doesn't necessarily mean they can rent a house for $1,200. And I made an effort to explain it. And as I was editing, it took me a couple takes to make this video. It was like the hardest thing I've ever made. And as I was editing it, I thought, oh, gosh, I sure hope people understand what I'm saying. Well, I got a pretty scathing comment from someone who watched that video, and this person used to be a real estate agent and a real estate broker, and they got cancer and needed to get on Section 8, and they were hoping by watching my video that they could understand this Section 8 amount thing. And they watched the entire video, and basically the gist of it was a waste of their precious time on this planet to have watched my whole video. So I felt horrible, and I thought, well, what am I going to do to solve this? I'll just let you listen to a call. It's going to make the most sense if you just listen. But I want to give you a couple little heads up before you listen. First, I'm Monique Burns. My husband and I are in Detroit, Michigan. We buy houses, we renovate them, we sell them to investors from all over the country and all over the world. And so when people buy the house, I've already placed the tenant. So what you're going to hear in this call is me doing that part where I'm placing a tenant. And I don't have a buyer picked out yet for the house, but most of my investors that find me here on YouTube are fans of Section 8. So I do say that the owner wants Section 8 only. With my houses, I always try to get the maximum amount I can if I'm renting it to somebody with Section 8, which I usually do like to rent to people with Section 8. You can watch my video, The Pros and Cons of Section 8. One of the reasons that I feel justified asking for more rent than I would ask somebody that does not have Section 8 is it can take months before I see that first rental payment hit the bank account. So actually Detroit Housing Commission right now, I placed a tenant in April, and the owner and I go to the same gym, and I have to see her, and I'm like, did they pay yet? It's October and they still have not put the money in her bank account yet, but that's Detroit Housing Commission. They're super slow. I'm not using them right now until they get their staffing together so that they can do that faster. Each housing commission has its own little things. Detroit Housing, they would pay me more than other housing commissions. So that's one of the reasons, is that it's really hard for the owner. I feel horribly for this woman that she has to pay $100 a month in property management fees on a house that she's not even collecting rent on. She'll get paid the whole thing, but it's really hard to carry something like that. So I feel like Section 8 should pay a premium. The other thing is that Section 8 does yearly inspections, and they never make the tenants pay for, or they don't call the tenants out on tenant-caused damages. They say that they do, but I've never seen it actually. So a common thing we'll get is we have to replace the batteries in the smoke detector. When we already had batteries in that smoke detector, where did they go? We'll have to clean their shower for them, which is super annoying, and I think that's worth an extra $100 a month, because Section 8 says, well, there's mold in this bathroom. Well, it's not mold. It's just that they never cleaned their shower. And if I want to get the money again, I got to go clean their shower. So for reasons like that, it's worth asking for. I try to go for maybe around 100 more. In this video, you'll see too that she saw photos of a house at the end of renovation actually on Zillow. And she said, well, do you have any other properties? And I love it when that happens, because on Zillow, I had to state a rental amount. And I only put $1,100 as my rental amount, but I really was hoping I could get somebody with Section 8 and push for 12. But $1,100 was my absolute minimum. So when she said, do you have other rentals? I'm like, perfect. Let me just find out what she can pay and see if it would fit with what else I have. So that was very ideal for me. And you can tell too, I went through the whole process with her. I probably would have been a little bit shorter if I hadn't been making the video. She has Plymouth Housing Commission. So Plymouth Housing Commission is different than Detroit. They're at the opposite end of the spectrum of how much rent they allow a tenant to rent a house for. So a person on Plymouth Housing Commission with 2 kids will probably get around $1,100 voucher. That's the most rent she can pay with her paying all the utilities, gas, electric, and water. But now if the same person went to Detroit Housing Commission, so I kind of like Detroit for this reason, they would let her rent a house for $1,300 a month. But right now they're not even worth it because of their horrible staffing issues. But then the other housing commissions are somewhere in the middle. So when she told me she's $1,200, and I could tell pretty early on that she didn't know if that was with her paying utilities or with me paying all the utilities. Where did that $1,200 come from? I'm like, she's probably really only has $1,000. But you'll see how that conversation went and how I got that out of her. One thing that I'll say, like if somebody else called, and let's say this applicant was really good, but Plymouth Housing is only going to give me $1,000. I can't take her if it's only $1,000. It has to be at least $1,100. If they can't even, if they're just at $1,100 and another good sounding applicant comes from another housing commission, say Taylor Housing Commission, I like them a lot, and I know I could get $1,200 out of the other person, I'll say to them, I'll be upfront with them. I'm like, well, I have another applicant, but yours will come in stronger, so please do apply if you're able to pay more. So I don't say it's an $1,100 a month house, but if their voucher can pay me more, I'm more likely to take them. So they start explaining to me how their voucher works instead of saying, well, what's your rent? And that's what I'm going to pay. You know, it doesn't work like that exactly. It helps me a lot if you subscribe, for sure. That helps me the most. But if you like the video, that helps feed it out to other people to get to see the video, and it keeps me encouraged on making more videos. And of course, I read your comments. So leave me some comments. Of course, I like the nice ones. But if you have anything helpful for me, I'm all ears. I'll try. If you have a video suggestion or something, please comment below. And let's get into the call. Hello, this is Monique.
I was calling about the home on Promenade.
Yes.
Yes. How would I be able to apply?
Well, I have an online application. I can text you my link to that. The owner, I don't know if you saw in the ad that the owner is looking for Section 8 only.
Okay, I have that.
Oh, good. Good. Which housing commission do you have it with?
Plymouth.
Sure. And then, so it's you and who else would be living with you?
2 little girls.
Oh, okay. I have daughters.
Yeah.
I'm a girl mom.
Me too.
Yeah, see, I relate. I can't imagine having sons. I mean, you know, just have never had them. So,
I can actually call you on my break. I can actually call you on my break and we can finish talking.
Yeah, because I have more questions. That'd be good. Call me back.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye. Hello, this is Monique.
Hi. We spoke just a minute ago.
Yeah, sounds like you were at work.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
I was trying to see if was that the only place that you had?
Yeah, so, well, kind of. I have one coming up on the west side. I might have another one coming up on the east side. Are you more east side or west side?
I'm more west.
Okay. So the one on the west side, it's really nice. It's big. It's getting renovated right now. And it's a flat, though. It's the lower unit flat. Does that interest you?
No, I wanted a whole house.
Okay. Well, I've got...
Where's the other one is?
I just was remembering this. 9690 Everts. Sorry, is it... Can you hear all that? I've got a tree trimmer outside.
Oh, that's fine.
And it's a beautiful day to have the windows open.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's going to be really nice, too. 3 bedrooms. They're totally renovating it. It's probably going to be like 3 weeks-ish before it's showable, before we can let you see anything. Right now, it just smells bad. We won't show it to you like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how much is the price you think going to be for that one?
You know, I haven't totally determined it yet because as I was speaking, I was just thinking of it. Tell me about your voucher. You said it's with Plymouth. And you've got 2 people on it, 2 little girls. So how much do they allow you to do?
So for Plymouth,
Yeah.
they said 12.
Okay, so now is that 1,200? Is that 1,200 with you paying all the gas, electric, and water, or with the landlord paying it?
much it is. And I actually I have income, so they would only pay a small portion, basically.
Okay, so did you just get the voucher?
No, I actually had it since the end of July.
Oh,
I still haven't found a place yet. I just got
oh,
an extension, and my extension ends at
oh,
the end of next month.
oh gosh, that's scary, right? You're trying to
It
find a
is in a
place.
way, but it's just a lot.
It's hard. It's hard to find a place right now for everybody, I've heard.
Yeah,
So,
with the application fees alone, it's just a
I know.
huge deal
Well, one
right
thing that I do is I do charge an application fee, but I don't charge it unless I know that you're looking really good. So I can go through most of the process and it doesn't cost me anything but my time. But then when I get to the end where I have to run your background check, that's when it costs me money, but I don't do that unless I think you've got a pretty darn good chance of getting it. I'm not going to charge
now.
you until I know you can probably get it. And it's $35 and I'll just ask for it on Cash App, and like if you happen to have already found some other house, then you're not paying it.
Right.
You just don't pay it. Anyway, so the 1200, like when people are new to Section 8, it's so confusing the way that they tell it to you because it's not necessarily the amount of rent. 1200 isn't. So, like, sometimes they tend to give it to you. That song is driving me nuts. They give it to you as if you're renting an apartment, I guess, would pay all the gas, electric, and water. But when you're renting a house, usually a homeowner only pays, or well, the homeowner doesn't pay those. You pay all those, and then they break it down. So if 1200 was the full amount with me paying all those things, your real rent's probably more like 1000. Like you should be looking for $1,000 house, but we don't know what it is. If they say that big number and they don't have any more than 2 or 3 kids, then I know that's the number before the whole utility split. I don't pay utilities. I don't pay gas, electric, or water. So when they say that higher number, I'm like, okay, this is my $200 rule. I knock off $200. I'm like, oh, that's probably your real voucher. Do you know, I can find out though. Do you know who your caseworker is?
My caseworker name is Shannon. Actually, I already know how much I will pay. I mean, it's already broke down. I mean, out of the 1200, I will pay 9, and
Oh, well, that's good to know.
For utilities, and they will pay the other 3. I will pay 9. I will be responsible for paying 900, and they will be responsible for paying the other 3.
Well, that's like kind of 2 separate things. So what they do to figure out that 900 is they go, okay, you have a job. 30% of what you bring home has to go toward your rent. So they gave you that idea that you're going to be paying a good part of your Section 8 voucher. But like
Correct.
if I had
income.
a house, let's say my 1200 rule is right and minus off that 200. If I came at them and I said, okay, my rent's 1200, they could come back and say, yeah, but you're not paying for anything, so really she's not allowed to rent your house because it's too much. So they could come back and say that. So what I like to do, because it's so confusing for like everyone, landlords, tenants, everybody except the people that work at Section 8, I guess, is if I could email your caseworker, what I do is I send a really detailed email. I'm like, it's this many square feet, this many bedrooms, my rent's 1200. And they can come back and say yes or no that you could do that or not.
Okay.
Do you mind if I do that? If I send her an email and I'll copy you on it?
Okay. And that will be for promenade.
It would really be for any house. I could tell her the Everts one if you liked Everts better. Like is it that you didn't like the location of promenade?
Yeah, I think it's the location.
Yeah.
But it's
So
a beautiful home. I mean, it looks nice.
well, that's what Everts is going to look like when we're done.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just give her the information for Everts.
Okay, do you have the address so I can see what it look like on the outside?
Yep, it's 9690. Really pretty neighborhood. Brick. It's bigger than the promenade one. And I had somebody for it, and she went missing in action on me.
What's your name?
Well, the house wasn't ready when she saw it. And I think she got nervous that it wasn't going to be, so she went and found somewhere else. So I know this is going to be ready in like 3 weeks or so. But, you saw Promenade. She didn't have the advantage of seeing what they look like when they're done. So she's like, and saw it smelly, which we try never to show people houses smelly because it's hard to change their mind. Like, it's going to be all freshly painted and new carpet and a new kitchen and just like what you saw on Promenade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just don't have a video or anything.
Security deposit wise?
I'll do 1,000 for that.
All together?
Well, plus you have to do whatever your first. You said 900 is your portion.
Yeah.
So you'd have to pay 1,000 plus the 900.
Some people is like, well, what's the point of you having section rate if you paying damn near all the rent? And I'm like,
Well, it's in case you lose your job. It's in case you lose your job.
Right.
Then you've got that cushion and they'll pay all of it.
Right.
Or, if something happens where you can't go to work.
Oh, okay.
But I know, it's too bad. They put you in a position where you really have to work, and then you're like, man, I'm hurting myself working.
Okay, you said you're right, it is a cushion. It is a cushion.
It is.
Sure.
Yeah, I've had a tenant before that only paid $40 a month.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And then I've had them before where they didn't pay anything. And she had to pay her own utilities. Everybody always pays their own utilities. Better. She was with us 10 years, and her job kept getting better and better, and we knew it because we kept getting less and less money from Section 8 and more money from her. Then she ended up buying a house, so it was nice. We were happy to be part of that, for her. That was nice. So anyway, I texted you the link where you could access an application. But I'll get the email started, and I'm going to save your information anyway. Wait a minute, did I get your name? I never got your name. Okay. And what's your email address? I'll copy you on the email I send them so you know how I did it. Okay. Thank you. As soon as we hang up, they're going to quit sawing and bugging me.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
They're taking the trees out on my street. It's sad. No more fall colors here.
You're right about that.
What?
It just happens. So how will you be able to determine whether a person will have a good chance or not?
Oh, by the email. Oh, you mean, when I do your background check?
Yeah.
I look to see if you've been taken to court before. Has any landlord ever taken you to court?
Yes, I've been to court before, but I paid it off, so.
Oh, what happened? Tell me about it.
So, I had got approved for the Sierra.
Okay.
In the email, it stated that they were 5 future months was covered, so I was under the impression that they was paying 5 months of my rent, but really they wasn't. They only paid 2.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So here you are not paying rent, thinking that the ceremony covered it.
Yeah, I still had an email on my phone right now to this day. It said 5 future months covered, so I thought I was fine.
Oh wow.
And then I got a letter in the mail from my landlord saying that I owed, and I'm like, how owe? They paying for 5 months. She was like, well, they gave me all of what they was gonna give you. You owe now. So I ended up having to go to court for that.
How long ago was that?
Last month.
So then where have you been living? Are you still there or did you move?
Yeah, I'm still there. I've been there for 6 years.
Oh my gosh, that's a long time.
I'm actually, to be honest with you, I was trying to use my voucher there, but she said that I couldn't use it because they have their own program, because that's already an income-based program too.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be kind of like overlapping.
Oh, okay.
So it's either I stay there and lose out on having Section 8, or I find a place in order to get to Section 8. That's kind of like the boat I'm
Ah, so
You see what I'm saying?
is it like a condo kind of complex or apartments or what is
No,
it?
it's a townhouse. Thank you. It's townhouses,
Oh,
but they're low income, so they already have their own program through HUD there. So I guess that'll
yeah.
be overlapping.
Oh, okay, okay. Do you have
So if
any
we gotta stay there, huh?
what pets do you have?
Zero.
Right answer. That was a trick question.
I think animals make your house stink, so I never
I do too, and they
put an
ruined the
animal there.
carpet and the grass, and I'm not one to talk. I've got my
I
own
never
set
been
of
an animal
dogs.
girl.
We got dogs that don't shed here, but they're still dogs.
Right.
It's a lot of cleaning you got to do that you wouldn't normally have to do if you didn't have dogs. Yeah. Okay, so it's okay. I think that's it then. So I will watch for your application, and meanwhile, I'm going to see if I can send an email to Plymouth and see if we can get this going. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Alrighty then. Nice talking with
Thank you.
you.
It's nice talking to you too.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.
And it sawed the whole time. I'm usually not a fan of people that have had the SARA funding. That's the funding from the state of Michigan, where somebody else, the state covered rent for her. But I can kind of get it. I mean, a lot of people needed it, and she thought it was for 5 months, and even has the letter saying it was for 5 months, and then it was only 2. So, like with her, I would definitely want to talk to her current place, and with it being a townhouse place, they'll probably only send me a ledger, which won't tell me much. So it's kind of hard to tell, but at least I could go see how she lives. I can go to her current rental and see how she takes care of it. It's nice to hear she said pets make a house smell bad. I agree that's a sign of cleanliness with her. She didn't really understand her voucher. She thought it was just a flat 1,200. So I'm eager to get the email started with her caseworker and see if it's really my rule where it's like 1,200 minus 200 if she has to pay all her own utilities, or if 1,200 was actually with her paying all the utilities. This is a big one that she pays 900 of the rent. That's a lot out of 12. I mean, Section 8's only covering like 300. So sometimes I like it when, I don't know, when Section 8 pays more of it, but I also appreciate that she works. I'll have to see what her job was. I should have asked her what she does. But there's time for all that. First, let's just see if she even qualifies so that I'm not spending too much time, more time than I need to. But this was a good conversation. I really got to the bottom of it. The sawing drove me nuts. But I got to the bottom of as much as I possibly could on the call. And when I email her caseworker, I'm going to do like a whole list of things. I'll tell you what here's the email I sent earlier today. I gave the address. I said 3 beds, 1 bath, rent 1,200, even though I was asking 1,100 on that house. I wrote in the email 1,200 because if she's, I think I found out before I wrote the email that she was like around there, so I pushed it up a little bit because if they say she's 1,190, I want the whole 1,190. If I said to them 1,100, which is like my minimum I can take there, they would have said, oh yeah, she can do 1,100, and I would have left money on the table. So I said to Section 8 1,200. I told them the security deposit amount. I don't know if they need to know that. I said tenant supplies, stove, and refrigerator. And then I put in parentheses that the stove is gas, because they'll write back and ask me if I don't, that it's a gas appliance, and that the tenant pays gas, electric, and water. I said there's no AC. Don't judge me. It's not common in Detroit to have houses with AC. And it is common in Detroit that tenants are supplying their own appliances. I said water heater and furnace are gas. They want to know about parking. I said there's driveway parking. So, if it's street parking, driveway parking, if they have a garage, they like to know if it's a fenced yard. They like to know if there's a porch. They like to know if there's storage. I did say fenced yard. I said how many square feet. I said what year it was built. Then I like to put in a little bonus thing, like, come on, make this work for her. So I wrote newly renovated top to bottom, windows, roof, furnace, hot water heater, kitchen, bathroom, electric, and plumbing are updated, all new flooring going in now. I want them to know this is a good deal for her she's not moving into a slum situation, the caseworkers can read that and be like, good, less work for them dealing with a slum landlord or people that they have to do stuff with. So that's what I wrote. And I wrote that 2 hours ago. I have not heard back yet. Eager to hear back from that caseworker. And sometimes they get frustrated and they're like, well, I can't tell you until we process it. I'm like, come on, give it to me close. And I'll put in a little paragraph like, can you just tell me if it's possible that she can pay this? Because I don't want to charge her an app fee if this isn't something she can afford. And caseworkers typically respect that. So I'm about to write an email now to Plymouth Housing, and hopefully I get the right person there and get it figured out. Let me know if you have any other questions. Comment below. Thanks for watching.
Because I don't think they pay the whole thing. I think you have to pay something or something like that too. If you don't have a job, how you gonna pay their portion?
Well, exactly. So, I mean, the idea is that 30% of your income has to go toward paying rent. So they must be looking at your income and saying, well, she makes this much money, so what's 30% of 1,200? And they came up with that 897.
Okay.
Yeah, but she didn't give me an exact amount. Sometimes I'll write to him and say, like I said, could she qualify for a $1,200 house? And I thought your voucher was going to be closer to 1,100. I thought, well, wait, you're with Plymouth Housing, so I thought your voucher would be closer to 1,000. But it must be because you work. Because instead of 30%, they'll do 40% if you work. But she came back and she said 1,200 at work instead of no, but she could do 1,160 or something, 63. They usually come back with a specific number. But she just said you could do 1,200.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And how does it look?
How does what look? The house?
The place.
Yes. I was just in it today. I think, were you and I texting today? I was just in it today.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that must have been someone else.
Oh, you know what? I'm getting it confused. I was in your house today too. Everts, the one that you're applying for. All the kitchen cabinets are now in the living room because they're going in the garbage, and you're getting all new kitchen cabinets. So the crew was there painting and cleaning, and they were what?
Right now.
And what was it gonna be, carpet or hardwood floors throughout?
The bedrooms and upstairs are definitely gonna be carpet.
Bedrooms and upstairs definitely carpet.
Gotta see the time frame of when somebody's moving in and when Kevin could get there.
Yeah, it all depends on timing of everything else. If there's the possibility of hardwood or not. Yeah. Did I haven't gotten your. It's a light grayish color. It's the same color as was in the pictures of the Promenade house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the address?
9690 Everts.
I'm gonna ride by there today.
Okay.
Just to see how the neighborhood looks.
Yeah, that's always a good idea, especially on a beautiful day like this after 5 o'clock. Go and just see, when people are done with work, what goes on in a neighborhood.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish you had more places. I really do.
Well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
I do.
Yep, that's it. That's East Side. Yeah.
Bathroom. Just one bathroom.
It's just one bathroom, right, Pat?
One bath.
Yes, one full bath, main floor.
Okay, and a basement.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Okay, all the rooms are upstairs.
Nope, just the upstairs bungalow bedroom, the big one upstairs. And then 2 on the main floor. It's got a pretty living room with a fireplace. It's got a dining room. It's got a really nice covered porch behind it with a cement porch. Go walk around the back so you can see the porch too. Because that's worth seeing.
Okay.
That's where I'd be living. Right there on that porch. Yeah. At least as much as you can in Michigan.
Okay, yeah. So she said they didn't have any funds for security deposit.
Yeah, you'd have
So
to
I
come
guess
up with
they
that whole
did
thing.
used to in the past, but they don't anymore.
Who did? Who?
Section 8.
Oh, I've been doing this since 2007 and I've never heard of them paying security deposits.
Mm.
There's other organizations I know people have come up with, but um, it's
Like
hard.
where?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But the problem is they never pay them before you move in, so you have to pay it up front anyway. It's not like you
Oh,
can
wow.
count on them paying it. Like if they do pay it, I'll give it back or apply what you paid toward rent, but
Okay.
I can't wait for organizations
Right.
to do
And you
it.
said you did run my name?
Just to see if you had been to court and your name didn't come up at all. But you said you have been to court.
Yeah, well, it's already been settled, so that's probably why.
Huh. Was it in Detroit?
No,
Oh, that's
Highland
why I
Park.
didn't see it. Yeah, so
It's a Highland Park.
oh, okay. So I would have to like get your application to be able to look at everything and I need to talk to your last landlord and see your pay stubs and you know, fill out the whole thing for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No
Yeah.
problem.
All right. And then remind me, you are living where you're renting now.
Yes.
And where is that again? What cross
Highland
streets?
Park.
It's in Highland Park. Okay. Cuz I'll come over
Yeah.
and just check it out. I do that before I let people rent our house just to make sure nothing crazy's going on over
Yeah.
there. I don't want in our house.
Oh, okay. Yes. Can you send them out? Thank you. You said that. Oh, you would want to come see where I stay now.
Yeah, because, I want to make sure you don't do anything crazy there that would hurt our house.
Oh, okay. Yes, my place
Oh,
is
so
really nice now. I would have stayed there. Had they
Yeah, that's what you said.
yeah, my house is, and I got central air.
Oh
So
gosh, that's
it's
really
like
nice.
yeah,
That's
looking
very
nice.
nice. I wish I could offer you that.
Yeah, really
Yeah, we
good.
just like to make sure it doesn't smell like dogs.
Oh, no,
You know,
not at all.
you don't keep a pet tiger in your back bedroom or anything.
No,
No.
no, no,
You don't
not
collect
at all.
roosters, have company over.
No, 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 no.
Roosters are pretty, but then I don't think it's good what some people do with them.
What?
I'm just kidding. But that's one thing I'll do. I'll just stop by. I'm not going over there with a white glove and making sure that you dust well. I'm not my
Yeah, I
mother.
understand.
My mother comes to my house and she says, "Is that dust on your light bulb?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh." I'm not like that. So, okay.
No.
Well, I'll watch for your application then.
So you said it's probably dated because it was in Detroit.
Yeah, so I didn't see it if you didn't go to 36th District Court. That's the only one I looked up was 36th District Court. I just did a quick search.
Okay.
So you haven't even gotten a
When do y'all?
speeding ticket there. You haven't even gotten a no
Oh
driver's
no,
license, no
I have a
insurance.
driver's license.
Most people in
I have
Detroit
my driver's
have
license.
driving violations.
Oh no, I have my driver's license.
I have a driving violation in
Yeah,
Detroit.
you do? No,
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
I have in the past, but not currently. My
Okay.
license is clean as a whistle.
That's so good. That's so good.
Yes, it is. Thank God.
I mean,
Because you never know
I
who
don't
could
deny
run
people.
over.
I don't deny people based on driving records, but I could tell they live in Detroit usually because I'll see the parking and the different things. They just all pop up. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll watch for your application.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Sorry to keep you holding. You said that you have Section 8 and you were looking at my promenade house.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it is available. How did you find me?
I'm on Hot Pad.
Oh, okay. Good, good. And then tell me about your voucher.
I have a 3-bedroom voucher for $1,354. And it's
Okay.
going to be me and my 3 children.
Which housing commission is it with?
Livonia.
Oh, okay, good, good. All right. So when they gave you that 1354, is that with you paying all the utilities, or is that with the landlord paying all the utilities?
I pay all my own utilities, and I pay a portion of the rent.
Okay. So are you using your voucher now somewhere that you're renting?
Yes,
And what's your rent now?
1,100.
Okay. And then what's included in that? Is water included?
Nothing's included. I pay my own utilities.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. And then tell me about why you're moving.
The house I was rented is not livable. It's infested. It has roaches, and my people got home the day renting me out. And I haven't been in contact with these people since after I moved in.
Wait, you said they're kicking you out.
No, I haven't been in contact with them since I moved in.
How long have you lived there?
I moved in last year, October.
What do you mean you haven't been in contact with them? What? Like they don't
They
answer?
don't answer unless I go to the office.
Oh my gosh.
And now all of a sudden they have a ring camera outside their office door. So that's like a red flag right there.
Well, where is their office?
It's in Southfield.
And geez, so you have to physically go to the office if you need maintenance work.
Yes, and they have not came back to do nothing. A guy came out last month to record, take pictures of everything I complained about. I have not heard nothing.
Can you tell me what management company it is? I'm just being nosy.
DTE Homes.
Okay.
DET Homes. Yeah, DET Homes.
DET Homes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I feel like, there's so many. I just don't know them all, but I don't know.
Right.
That's bad. And there's just
I'm
like
just trying to get me and my kids in a property.
Wow. So were there roaches and mice before you moved in?
We didn't see it. As soon as I moved in, everything just started unraveling.
Oh gosh, that's awful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see, what else can I ask you? What pets do you have?
None.
And then do you work?
I'm self-employed.
So
I
it's
get other sources of income.
so the self-employed money, is that like income, cash income that is on the side?
Yeah, it's like a delivery. I deliver groceries for Walmart.
Oh.
And I get Social Security for my daughter, and I get DHS cash and child support.
Okay. Wow, that all sounds really good. Let's see. Let me get your phone number and your name and figure out when I can get you in there to see it. My husband's calling me right now. I'm going to ask him when he's going to be around that he can see it. Where's your house now?
On the west side of Detroit.
It's on the west side. Okay. I have another property on the west side that's almost ready. If you're a west sider.
What's the...
It's a 3-bedroom. It's for the same amount of rent. It's a flat, but it's really spacious and nice. It's on Santa Rosa.
Oh, no. I'm really trying to move closer to like Warren because my kids
okay.
Warren.
Okay.
Trying to be better.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you maybe wanted east side. Okay, perfect. So what is your name? So I'll text you. Did you see the video I made of the house?
No.
Okay, so that's at the tail end of the construction. So it looks like, to someone like you and I, we're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's never going to be ready. But it's already done. So I just made the video right at the end. The only thing that isn't actually done is the carpet. But like in the video, there were tools everywhere. There are no doorknobs. So you have to visualize what it's going to look like. But you can see the beautiful new kitchen.
Okay.
And you can tell like the important things you can see in the video. and then I'll talk to my husband about getting you in to see it. So I'm going to text you that video, and I'll text you a link to my application. It's easier for me to show it to you if you fill out the application first, because it's kind of a trip for us to go that far if it's somebody that's not even remotely qualified. I mean, it sounds like you are. But, yeah, if you could do that, that'd be great.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll text you here in a minute. Thank you for calling.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry what you're going through, too.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know how somebody can be in business if they don't take phone calls from
Exactly,
tenants.
yeah.
How does that work? I don't get it.
Yeah, I just don't understand. You can rent someone else, but you're going to collect money.
Yeah, I'm very confused by that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
That was way, way more clear. I got to the bottom of her voucher. It's so nice when they've already had Section 8, because I can say, okay, how much is it now where you're at? And it was perfect. She called about that Promenade house, which I have listed for $1,100. I need a minimum of $1,100. When I send an email to her caseworker, I might push a little bit and say, I don't know, $1,150, $1,200, and say, will she qualify for this? And the caseworker can come back with maybe a number a little bit higher than the $1,100. That would be good. She said her voucher is $1,354, but right now her rent is $1,100. So if I take that $1,354, that kind of works with my $200 rule. Minus off $200 if she has to pay all the utilities. So now she's renting at $1,100. But like I said, I'm going to send my email, and see if I can get something out of them. I like Livonia Housing. They're decent to work with. They're very organized. I don't like the fact that she has roaches and mice in her current house, because she could very well bring them to our house. But I do have a thing on my lease that if she does bring them to our house, that those are 100% her responsibility to remove them, to pay for all the pest control to get rid of them. And she does do this self-employed business, which she said is for cash, but that sounds like if she's doing deliveries for Walmart, that's probably 1099. And so Section 8 would know about that. I didn't get from her how much of that $1,100 right now she pays. I wish I had asked her that, but there's time for that. I can go back and ask her how much of the $1,100 right now she has to pay. That's always a good thing to know. But I'm just saying, like, because she's self-employed, she can hustle harder if she has to pay for pest control. I don't know. Sometimes you have to weigh the whole big picture. But and I was worried about that I maybe have this house listed for too high a rent. So if I could get her at $1,100 and go over the pest control thing with her, maybe she'd be good. I don't know. I got to think it through. But that was a good call.